been a day that we have been waiting for quite some time. Obviously, we have a special edition of NBC7 News today. We're here at the airport for day one, the grand opening, moments away.
From 8 lines it into left center. It's a walk-off. Johnson's coming from third. And with that, for the fourth time in the last 6 seasons, the San Diego Padres are headed back to the postseason in 2025.
And the crowd goes wild. Victory tasted a little bit like champagne and a sold-out stadium last night after the Padres officially punched their ticket to the playoffs.
NBC7 News Today starts now.
Good morning to you and welcome to a very special edition of NBC7 News Today. I am Stephen Luke, and if it doesn't look familiar, behind me, Nichelle, this is our new airport terminal.
That's right. It looks great. I can't wait to get into that. I'm Michelle Medina in for Marianne. Traffic at the airport, it's really going to pick up in about an hour. We're going to have more from you, Stephen, so hold tight in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at your first alert forecast with Sheena. Hopefully no problems weather-wise for the planes going in and out this morning.
Nope. Hey, Nichelle. Yeah, we're going to talk to Steve coming up in just a little bit. But yes, our weather looks really good for anyone who is heading to our brand new terminal to take off there. So we're not looking at any visibility issues. We have dry conditions. There's our first alert Doppler 7 radar sweeping around. It's actually going to be sunny and hot today. So a little bit different than yesterday just because we don't have that rain around anymore. It's all moved away. This morning, cool this afternoon. We could be near 90 if you're in Poway. We'll take a look at a little cooling trend too coming up.
The new Terminal 1, years in the making, is open right now at San Diego International Airport. And Stephen is at the airport this morning with all the sights and sounds of the new Terminal 1. Hey, Stephen.
Nichelle, this is such an exciting day for San Diego, and as you look behind me, you can see that it's not all that crowded yet. We still have a ways to go before the first flights take off, but there's plenty of people here. The security lanes opened about a half hour ago, and everything seems to be running smoothly. I'll tell you what it feels like. Have you ever shown up to a new airport in a different city and you're just sort of a little bit out of whack? Well, that's how you're going to feel when you show up to this new Terminal 1, because while it is our very own airport, it's new to everybody, and it is so fresh, and the ceilings are huge, the walls are wide, so much more space than what we're used to at the old terminal. So how does this stack up to the old Terminal 1, which is now in our rearview mirror? Well, there are 19 gates here today that are open. Eventually there's going to be 30, so 11 more at some point. That's once they get rid of the old terminal, and that's going to be happening in the days ahead. More security lanes here, more restaurants. There's 30 restaurants and stores compared to 9 just before Terminal 1. There are nearly 200 EV charging stations, more than 5,000 parking spaces, and a brand new baggage claim area that I hear can handle 2,000 bags per hour. That may not mean a lot to you, but basically it's more efficient, and they say you should get the bags faster. Last night, the last planes took off from the old Terminal 1, and the first arriving passengers entered this new Terminal 1. Let's get the latest from NBC7's Omari Fleming, who was there to witness a piece of history.
You're watching history in the making. The Southwestern flight from Hawaii that arrived shortly before 9 Monday night is the first ever at San Diego International's new Terminal 1. Passengers on the inaugural flight were greeted like rock stars and marveled at the stark difference between the new and old terminals.
Super crowded and really just felt like a sardine in there. And so having, a terminal that is built for today's travel is going to be really important.
Amazing. I see wine and beer right here. That's a nice welcome. No, it's gorgeous. Yeah, like I said, I fly all the time.
I'm very excited. We've been waiting for this for maybe 30 years.
I'm excited. The old one was dysfunctional, and the new vending looks like it's going to be a home run.
Frequent flyer Tony Parker was looking forward to all the creature comforts of the new terminal, from local restaurants being featured to new technology like increased check-in kiosks. There's also speedier baggage carousels and an increased number of security checkpoints.
Everybody's hoping that the security lines are better through TSA. The big test is how's that TSA process? I think that's what all of us commuters want to know.
The $3.8 billion new terminal will be able to accommodate 20 million people a year for the next 20 years. That's double the number of the passengers last year that flew in and out of the old terminal. That's a third the size of the new one. There will also be 30 gates serving 8 airlines.
What this new terminal offers is much more space. Our purpose and our goal with this new terminal was to enhance the customer experience. So if you stand here and you look around and you've ever been into the old terminal, you can see how much more space, how much more open it is.
That increased space and the new amenities seemingly enough of a draw to keep Temecula area resident Parco from choosing LAX or Ontario airports over San Diego.
Like this airport's going to pull you in.
It is.
Than the others are now.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
More money for us, yes.
Yes, yes. All right.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
So the last flights to take off from the old Terminal 1, that was around 9 o'clock last night. It is done. You'll never go there again, but you will arrive here when you fly out next. And the first flights are taking off in about 90 minutes from now. As I mentioned, a lot of people here, a lot of excitement, and still a lot to get into of what's beyond those security gates. We're going to be with you all morning long, live from the airport. So Nichelle, it's an exciting day on a few fronts. We have not only the airport, but we have Padres fans who are just super excited this morning.
Yes, I think they're still celebrating too, Steve. All right, we'll check back in with you a little bit later on. All right, let's talk about this. Huge news right now. The Friar faithful packed Petco Park hoping to see history, and they did. The Padres did not disappoint.
Johnson at third. From 8 lines and into left center. It's a walk-off. Johnson's coming from third. And with that, for the 4th time in the last 6 seasons, the San Diego Padres are headed back to the postseason in 2025.
Yeah, that dramatic win last night over the Brewers means the Padres are officially in the playoffs for the 2nd year in a row. Now, that is something the team hasn't done in almost 2 decades.
Yeah, I think again, like we're in it to try to win the World Championship ring. So we think we have a team that can do it. We're going to need some luck. We're going to need some good things, but got a lot of answers. We've got a lot of guys that can do different things. You know, the idea now that we start playing next week is go win a World Series.
It is a moment the Friar faithful have seen before, a champagne-soaked clubhouse. They got the goggles on, sunglasses, whatever they could do to protect their eyes. The Padres will need a little luck, as you heard, to clinch the division, but the important thing is they are playoff bound. Okay, so here's a live look right now over Petco Park this morning. Very quiet and peaceful, but you know what? Give it some time. The Padres continue their homestand against the Brewers later today. First pitch is at 6:40. Jimmy Kimmel will return to late-night TV tonight. It comes less than a week after his show was pulled off the air over comments he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Well, Disney says the decision to put Kimmel back on the air comes after conversations with Jimmy. They say his show was suspended last week to, quote, avoid further inflaming a tense situation. They called his comments about Kirk ill-timed and insensitive. But many homes across the nation will not see tonight's show. Sinclair, a broadcast company that operates more than 36 ABC affiliates across the country, said in a statement it plans to replace Kimmel with news programming. Meantime, Nexstar, who owns over 20 ABC affiliates, has not responded to NBC News and our request to learn if they will put Kimmel back on the air tonight. It is 5:09 right now on this Tuesday morning. Let's get a check of the forecast with Sheena. Hey, Sheena.
Hi, Nichelle. Good morning. Sounds
good, Sheena. Thank you. A new detox center is set to open in just hours. Why experts say it is the key to getting people off our streets.
Welcome back. It is 5:13 as San Diego continues to struggle with a worsening homeless crisis. The city's largest service provider is changing course.
Today, Father Joe's will open a detox and sober living facility at one of its downtown shelters. NBC7's Audra Stafford is live downtown. And Audra, I know Father Joe says that these detox beds, they are desperately needed.
That's right, Nichelle. And actually, just to put that in perspective, this will be the first facility of its kind here in San Diego County once it opens later today. It'll be located just a few blocks away from where I'm standing at Father Joe's main campus on Imperial Avenue. And it'll really provide some much needed services for homeless San Diegans who are suffering from addiction. So basically what they're doing here, if you're familiar with the Paul Mirabal Center, it's kind of their main building there, they've transformed that into this detox center and sober living shelter. It has 44 detox beds as well as 250 shelter beds, all of which will be for sober living. You can see here some pictures of what it looks like on the inside. Up until today, there were just 78 detox beds in the entire county, and most of them not geared toward the homeless population. Yet in 2025 alone, 291 people experiencing homelessness lost their lives to substance overdose.
What's been weighing on my heart are the number of individuals who are dying on the street. These are more effectively using these beds so that we can truly make a difference in the lives of these individuals.
So Father Joe's used actually philanthropy money. They raised the money to make these changes into this new sober living facility. Again, it is set to officially open later this morning. They have a ribbon cutting ceremony and a blessing plan. We'll of course be there, and we'll bring that to you on our midday newscast at 11 a.m. Reporting live downtown, I'm Audra Stafford, NBC7.
Audra, thank you. It was certainly a scary situation for parents, students, and teachers when an anonymous threat forced 2 schools in the Claremont area to go into lockdown for a couple of hours.
Police say an anonymous threat was made to Claremont High School's police department yesterday morning. Now, the school contacted San Diego police. Both Claremont High School and nearby Marston Middle School were put on lockdown while police checked the area.
They said that we have like a lockdown to stay where we are, and then our assistant principal was like, it's like real, like stay where you are, don't move, don't make noise, like we'll let you know what's happening.
The lockdown was lifted around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Police determined the threat was unfounded. No one has been arrested. NASA has just introduced the 10 Americans who will make up its 2025 astronaut candidate class. And get this, one of them is from right here in San Diego. Catherine Spies made it through a competitive selection process that saw more than 8,000 applicants from across the country. The candidates will now take part in a 2-year training program before becoming eligible for flight assignments. Spies was once stationed at Camp Pendleton as a Marine helicopter pilot.
When you're flying a helicopter and you're sitting in the cockpit, there is a lot going on. The rotors are vibrating your seat, and you can see the flicker of the blades over the top of your field of view, and you're reading the instruments, and you got voices coming into the radio in your helmet, and all of these inputs are the language of your aircraft. I think in the next 2 years of astronaut candidate training, the thing that I'm super pumped about is learning the language of human spaceflight.
Her father was also a Marine, and her mother still lives in Point Loma. That's incredible. The countdown is on to the finals of America's Got Talent. Tonight, the finalists will perform, including Chula Vista native Jessica Sanchez. Performances start at 9 o'clock tonight. That is an hour later than usual. We'll learn more about the results tomorrow night. You can catch it all right here on NBC7. 5:18 right now. She has such an incredible voice, Sheena.
She's 9 months pregnant. She's I mean, it's crazy.
Powerhouse.
So, we're all hoping that she just hangs around, and I know she is too. She's hoping she hangs around, you know, just long enough. So we wish her the best of luck. We'll be watching. We'll take another look around the county coming up.
All right, Sheena, thank you. It is a day years in the making. All right, let's be honest, decades in the making. Let's go to Stephen live from the airport as the new Terminal 1 is officially open.
What does $3.8 billion get you? We're showing you this morning. Out with the old, in with the new. Certainly an exciting day here for all of San Diego as our new airport terminal opens to travelers who are taking off. And welcome back to a very special edition of NBC 7 News today as we welcome this new Terminal 1 fully open for business as of this morning. But at the same time, you know what? We're also getting a look back at the old space, the one that's clearly in the rearview mirror. NBC 7's Joe Little takes us on a nostalgic trip down memory lane.
A lot of you might remember these old boarding passes you would get as a Southwest passenger. These went away in 2002. Now fast forward to 2025 and Terminal 1 as we know it is also going away.
Attention please.
After Monday, there will be no more chaos on the curb in front of Terminal 1. No more of these green signs. No more waiting for your luggage at these carousels. And to think this was top of the line when it opened 58 years ago.
It was amazing and it was brand new and it was exciting.
Dan Oliver remembers coming here as a little boy, waiting for his dad to return from the Vietnam War.
4 little boys and mom, and he'd been away for 9 months and we were just so excited to see him. And, this airport, this is pretty much brand new.
It has evolved since 1967, but not enough.
It's too crowded. All checked and carry on luggage.
From the sidewalks outside to the amenities inside, many San Diegans are ready for something new. And that's the new Terminal 1 right next door.
It looks like it's really roomy, there's more restaurants, and it's just nicer.
It will welcome its first passengers around 9 Monday night.
Do not leave your luggage.
Demolition will then begin on the old terminal next month to make room for 11 more gates at an expanded Terminal 1.
I'm most excited that it's going to end, maybe.
That construction will end in 2028. For now, September 22nd, 2025 is the last welcome home flowers in the old Terminal 1.
And now it kind of brings a tear to the eye to know that we're the last day.
The last day to wait for suitcases in here. The last day on these sidewalks. The last day Dan has to deal with the chaos on this curve.
It's just going to be so much more nicer, and to have our guests coming into the city, I'm pretty proud of it.
As a reminder.
Saying goodbye to the old Terminal 1, Joe Little, NBC 7.
Well, here inside the new Terminal 1, one of the top questions so far, at least according to one of the folks who is standing by answering those questions, is where do you get into the security line? It is pretty obvious. It's behind me here, but you'll remember at the old Terminal 1, there were 2 separate security gates. Well, this time there is only one, so in some ways a little bit easier, and they have more lanes for you as well. More coverage from the airport coming up. Nichelle, back to you.
All right, it's looking great out there, Stephen. Thank you. San Diego is getting a new tool to deal with a homeless crisis. We are live this morning with the latest on the new detox center set to open in just hours. And this morning we salute Gunner's Mate 3rd Class Iris Reyes Barrera of San Diego. She serves aboard USS Roosevelt. Here she is on the Small Craft Action Team on watch during an exercise in Spain. This morning and really every day, we thank you for your service.
You're watching NBC 7 News Today.
Well, welcome back to a special edition of NBC 7 News Today. So glad to have you here on this Tuesday. I'm Nichelle Medina in for Marianne alongside Chief Meteorologist Sheena Parveen.
And I am Stephen Luke. Obviously not with you ladies. I am here at our brand new airport terminal. This is day 1 and it is super exciting. So the question before you get here though, weather, traffic. Sheena, I will say on my way in that I didn't experience much fog and there weren't a lot of brake lights, so that's good news.
Yep, we actually have really good conditions, Steve. Good to see you at the airport this morning. And yeah, so anyone who's flying out, I know the airport's getting a lot busier behind Steve right now as a lot of people are heading out to catch their flight. Right now, downtown, 68 degrees. Visibility, yes, it looks great out there. 10 miles, so everything looks clear. I'm not seeing any fog issues as far as traffic. We don't have any slowing getting to the airport, so right now it looks really good. We'll head back to Steve at the airport. And Steve, you know that I'm looking for some donuts at the airport, searching around for some food.
All Sheena's been talking about is where can I get the donuts at the new terminal. You know what? We have someone who can answer that question for you, Sheena. I want to bring in Nicole Hall with San Diego International Airport. Nicole, good morning to you. This is such an exciting day for you and your team. 4 years ago, you broke ground, and here it is, $3.8 billion, and a lot of hard work later, it's open.
I know, isn't it amazing? We are so excited to be here today to welcome San Diegans and travelers into our beautiful new terminal. It's just so exciting for us.
I mean, the ceilings are so high. You and I could stand this far apart from one another, and we're not going to bump into other travelers like the old Terminal 1. So a couple of things that I noticed, there's all of the stores and the restaurants are on the other side of security.
Correct, that's right. So once you come to the airport, you'll notice much more expansive environment, many ticketing kiosks and counters, and we have an elevated departures. So if you're going to be departing from San Diego, you want to go to that upper level. If you're picking someone up, you want to go to the first floor where we have arrivals. And most of our concessions, yes, are on the other side. So we really can't wait for people to come and travel through San Diego.
Very similar to Terminal 2 in that experience is what you're seeing here. No, the signs are great. We made it fine, and it seems like most of the people are getting to where they need to be. And anything from what you're hearing from your team this morning that you want people especially to know today?
You know, one is that it has been a long time coming, and we are so excited to welcome people. But we really want people to explore, look at some of the features, notice how it's different. And really, we wanted to bring a sense of and a place of San Diego and that San Diego vibe into this terminal. So we really want people to look around, look at the art, look at everything, and see what resonates with you, what you know is San Diego.
Well, you have San Diego artists. I mean, the first thing you're going to see as you drive through, maybe for picking someone up, is the jellyfish,
absolutely,
which is out there. And then there's all sorts of cool artwork that's inside here. And then the restaurants. We're going to get later in the show into that more, but so many San Diego-inspired eateries and coffee shops.
So many San Diego. You know, if you walk along the ticketing hallway, you'll see some familiar, maybe logos, brands. Luna Grill, Lofty Coffee, Better Buzz. Those are San Diego brands. Tony Hawk is even here with his restaurant.
Where's Tony?
Where's Tony now? So he's here with his restaurant, and that's new, but we are, you know, and we have an outdoor deck that's connected to that. So while you're sitting here, maybe waiting for your flight, grab something to eat, sit out on our deck, enjoy the San Diego skyline, look at the flight the aircraft that you're actually going to take off on, and just enjoy the entire experience.
Well, it's too bad you need a ticket to get past security to enjoy all that. So you're going to have to go fly somewhere.
Exactly. Good idea.
Nicole, thanks for the time. We appreciate
thank you so
it.
much.
And congratulations on what seems to be a very successful opening here today.
Thank you.
We're going to have much more from the airport as the morning goes on. And we're going to talk about that outdoor spot. When you go through, this is really cool, Michelle, when you go through security, you're going to see an area that you can go outside. It's like, what would you call it? What do you guys call it?
It's an outdoor. It's an outdoor plaza or patio, right?
Which
it seats over 300 people. So
you need an airport with good weather to make that happen.
Exactly. We have that.
Nicole, thanks. All right, we have other news to get into. Want to talk about really a big story out of Carlsbad. The community there still searching for answers this morning after a woman was killed outside of her apartment. So late Friday night, a woman was gunned down and her car was stolen from a parking lot of the Ascend apartment homes off of Carlsbad Village Drive. The thief then drove the stolen car all the way up to Orange County, where he got into a shootout with police, and the suspect was eventually killed. Now neighbors who live up in the North County say the entire incident unfolding has them wanting more answers.
I think it was personal and not random. And random, of course, is much more scary because it could happen again.
Carlsbad police have not made a connection between the victim and the suspect, but say it was an isolated incident. Michelle?
Well, the Trump administration is telling pregnant women to avoid using Tylenol because it could be linked to autism. In a White House briefing, the president spoke out against the widely used medication. But most doctors disagree. Research suggests there is no link between using acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, and autism. One doctor we spoke with says there's ongoing research into whether other factors are involved.
I think the part that's up for debate is whether or not environmental factors are contributing to this increase. And certainly, I don't think most scientists are ruling that aspect out. But I think as far as, pointing the finger at acetaminophen, I don't think that's a credible suspect.
The Trump administration also announced a new $50 million effort to turbocharge autism research. The FDA is set to approve a new drug as a treatment for autism symptoms, but medical experts say there is little evidence that it works.
Well, happening today, Father Joe's Village is getting ready to open a first-of-its-kind center for homeless San Diegans who are dealing with substance use.
NBC 7's Audra Stafford is live downtown this morning. And Audra, I know it has been in the works for more than a year now.
That's right. And Father Joe says this is really desperately needed. This new shelter that will have supportive services as well as a detox center will actually be located just a few blocks away from where I am here along the Embarcadero. It'll be at the Father Joe's campus on Imperial Avenue. And it, again, will provide a lot of much needed services for those who are suffering from addiction. So as we know, San Diego's homeless crisis continues, even though the most recent point-in-time count showed that there were some improvements in some areas overall. We still have a lot of folks out there on our streets, and many of them are suffering from substance use disorders. So what Father Joe's has done here is take the Paul Mirabal Center, or PMC as it's also known, and transform it into a new detox center and sober living shelter with 44 detox beds as well as 250 shelter beds, which will be for sober living. You can see some pictures here of what it looks like on the inside. Up until today, there were just 78 detox beds in San Diego County, and most of them not geared toward the homeless population. Yet in 2025 alone, Father Joe says 291 people experiencing homelessness lost their lives to substance overdose. So again, they say this is really sorely needed, and now it's going to be opening later this morning. They have a big celebration planned where they'll do a formal blessing and cut the ribbon so they can start getting people the help they need. And the really cool thing is this was paid for through fundraising. They did a lot of philanthropy efforts to make this possible. So we'll get a closer look at it a little later this morning. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Audra Stafford, NBC 7.
Audra, thank you. Now to the news heard all across downtown, really, I think all across the county. A lot of you are probably still celebrating because who's ready for some October baseball? I know you are. NBC 7's Derek Togerson breaks down the Padres' history that's been made.
Monday night was a huge one for the San Diego Padres facing the Milwaukee Brewers, who have the best record in baseball. They had to get one win to put themselves officially into the postseason, and this was kind of a microcosm of their entire year. They fell down early, they fought back to tie it. They fell down again, they fought back to tie it, and in the 11th inning, it was Freddie Fermin, the catcher who was a backup in Kansas City, acquired at the trade deadline. He was the hero, lining a line drive up the middle to bring home Bryce Johnson with the run that put the Padres into the 2025 playoffs.
I'm happy. I don't got a lot of I got a lot of things to say, but thanks God, thanks to the fans to support us, and then we are here. We are here, San Diego.
But it's only the first step. It's not like this is amazing. It's exciting to experience these things, and we're grateful for it. But it's on to the next level.
This is the fun part right here, and there's a lot of really good baseball to be played by this group, and I'm excited for the ride right now.
We've seen you guys get hot several times this year. Do you feel like that might be building at the right time?
We got 5 more games to really get as hot as we possibly can. So we gotta wait and see.
Your smile says yes. At Petco Park, Derek Togerson for NBC 7.
Yeah, one game at a time, but this is exciting. The Pods are walking into Petco Park with their heads held high after that late night walk-off clinched their spot in the playoffs. First pitch is at 6:40 right here at home. It is quiet right now, that live look at Petco Park. They're playing the Brewers at 6:40. So, Sheena, if you are headed downtown tonight for the game, I have a feeling the weather should be pretty good.
It's going to be nice. Yeah, it's going to be great, Nichelle, as you're heading out. If you are heading out to Petco Park this evening, first pitch 6:40 should be a really nice evening. It's going to be a warm day today, but take another look around your 10-day forecast straight ahead.
Sounds good, Sheena. Thank you. Business owners calling for more state dollars to fight retail theft. why a law that went into effect less than a year ago seems to be working too well. San Diego Unified has dozens of community schools, and there is some new data that shows how they've had a positive impact on students and families. A community school, it's a bit different than a typical school. They often include things like food, pantries, clothing closets, and dental clinics. Researchers looked at these types of schools all across the state and found that fewer kids actually miss class, fewer are suspended, and there are improvements in math and English testing. They also found improvement among students from underserved communities.
All children need to be seen and heard and valued. Some children come with more needs than others, and we need the resources to even the playing field.
San Diego Unified added 10 new community schools this year. The district now has 35, serving about 23,000 students. A binational effort is underway to keep people living in Tijuana and San Diego safe from wildfires. Well, firefighters on both sides of the border, they joined forces this week as part of the binational firefighters program. Tijuana firefighters say they see a 120% increase of fire-related calls from now until March. San Diego's fire chief said the meeting is important for streamlining information and helping equip Tijuana's first responders with firefighting gear.
We do a few things to help Tijuana. One is our turnout gear, slightly gently used, and we give that to them. We provide them with information to better their training and keep their community safe. We also sell them our fire apparatus to help them keep their fleet strong so they can respond to their community safely, and a whole host of other things.
Tijuana's fire department says it registers more fires than any other city in Mexico. It is 5:48 right now. Here's a live look over the runway at San Diego International. It is a new day at the airport as Terminal 1 opens to the public in just a few minutes. I imagine things are really starting to pick up out there, Steve.
Well, Nichelle, it was so cool to see that live look over the airport. We do that every single morning, and I think there's a few more lights on this morning because of the day one of departures here. Sheena, you've been filling us in on the weather and the traffic and everything that is involved in just getting to the airport. And I'm still working on the donuts for you and trying to figure out the best situation here for you.
We've been talking about it for so long. So if you're watching and you're not sure what Steve's talking about, we've been talking about it for, I don't know, a couple weeks now, if there are any donut options in the new terminal. So Steve will find that out. He's there live. Well, this morning, here's a look at the visibility. So if you are heading to the airport, just so you know, things look great. Clear conditions, visibility not an issue, because whenever we look at the airport, we always look at visibility. Pilots look at visibility. So everything looks good this morning. About 20 minutes. We'll take another look around coming up.
All right, Sheena, thank you so much. Along with all that is happening at the airport this morning, we have other news to fill you in on, including a tense situation out of Spring Valley after a chemical mix-up prompted a shelter-in-place for hours.
And you can keep up with our top stories and first alert weather on NBC7's Today in San Diego podcast. We put out a new episode every morning. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. It is 5:54 right now on this Tuesday morning. Home sales in San Diego County are on the rise while prices are slightly down. This is according to the California Association of Realtors. Home sales last month were up more than a percentage point from July, but they were still down about a half point from last year. The median price of a single family home right here in the county was $1.2 million in August. That is down about $200,000 from July. Families in Spring Valley were forced to shelter in place after an accident involving chemicals gave them quite a scare. The Sheriff's Department got a call from a company on Hamishon Boulevard around 11 yesterday morning. Now, they say the company accidentally mixed two chemicals incorrectly, and that's when a gas cloud was formed. Now, it's not clear right now exactly what those chemicals were. An ambulance was on scene where at least one person received medical attention. Some business owners say a new law designed to crack down on retail theft, it appears to be really making a difference. Proposition 36 went into effect in December. San Diego County's DA says prosecutors across the state are filing as many as 1,400 Prop 36 cases every month. But some business owners feel that there's not enough funding to fully enforce the law. The current state budget includes $110 million in one-time funding, but some people believe the state needs to set aside as much as $400 million each year.
I talk to business owners every single day, and what they want to see is their voice and their vote being fully executed, supported, and funded by the politicians in Sacramento. We see you. We know that you are not funding this. You are not supporting what the voters have asked for, and we are not going to stand for it.
Some prosecutors and law enforcement say they've also seen an increase in the amount of cases involving repeat offenders for drug possession and mandated treatment, which was another part of Proposition 36. Community leaders in Chula Vista are raising awareness about the city's new e-bike rules. The new regulations ban anyone younger than 12 from riding most e-bikes and scooters. E-bikes are also banned on sidewalks in several areas of the city.
The law itself is one thing, but this is an opportunity for us to go to schools, go to workplaces, go to community events, and get people educated about what these things are, what the specific laws are about them, and where they're allowed to ride.
Well, those new rules went into effect earlier this month, but the city will not begin enforcing them until December. For now, officers will focus on warnings and, of course, education. This week, in case you didn't know, it is National Dog Week, and the San Diego Humane Society is asking for people to adopt a shelter dog to help alleviate those crowded shelters. In fact, the Humane Society says right now it has hit a record just this month with more than 700 dogs in its care. This is despite only having around 400 kennels. Right now, it says it has around 620 adult dogs and about 130 puppies available for adoption. And we certainly hope we can find many of those animals a loving home. The countdown to takeoff. The first departure set to take place at the new Terminal 1. Steve is live at the airport this morning as we celebrate today's grand opening. Wake up, Friar Faithful, or maybe you're still celebrating. What a night. We have October baseball now. Coming up next, the moment the Padres clinch their spot in the playoffs.